Hello Ashish, welcome to another Express Drives episode, and thanks for sparing time to speak to us.
Always a pleasure, Arpit.
Of course, the agenda today is Taigun. It's been a long time in the making, the India 2.0 project, and we have been speaking over a long time now. Finally, it's all culminating into the vehicle being available in flesh and very soon to customers. So, first of all, tell me how's the mood in the Volkswagen team right now? I'm sure you all are very excited and kicked about it, but also some signs of nervousness, some concerns, something like that.
No, you're bang on, Arpit. You can see the year beginning poster right at my back. And it's funny that you feel that it's been a long time for us, all of us. It has been a very very short time. We literally have not been feeling under a lot of time pressure to get everything done, to make everything ready in terms of the launch, in terms of getting the cars to the customers, in getting our dealerships ready. So it's been very very exciting times. And as you said, along with the excitement, a lot of nervousness as well. Yeah, we have been, something which you have been looking forward to, something which you've been preparing for the last 1.5, 2 years, and now it's something which is imminent. Making sure that all the plans that you have keep on track, making sure that all of them come together to reach its objective of bringing a world class product to the customers. I think that's where we are, but I would call it nervous anxiety. Huh? So we are all looking forward to it and gearing up.
Brilliant. And apart from that, we all know it's a known fact that Taigun is a very important model for Volkswagen. But Ashish, we want to hear it from you. What is the Taigun in an emotional way? What is the Taigun for Volkswagen? In fact?
Tycoon is a feeling for me. I think for most of our team as well. It makes my heart go duck duck every time. Because every time I think of it, not only as a product, but it's hopes and aspirations for not only my team but for a lot of customers as well. You have to meet all their expectations. You have to make sure that you keep your plans on track. You meet their expectations in terms of product and in terms of customer experience. Parallelly, you have to take care of the expectations of your other stakeholders like your dealers as well. So it's a huge responsibility that you feel. Yeah, at the same time you also do feel that this is your chance to make a difference. If you do it well, it makes a difference to a lot of people.
Absolutely. And so, Ashish, you said it's an emotion for you. It's so much more than that as well. But when can customers who have been looking forward to expect this? I mean, when can they at least start the booking? When can we expect that?
So Arpit, you are the lucky one. You are the first one I am actually sharing the concrete timelines with. So we will start our complete launch phase from the first week of August when we are having the press drives, and I'm sure you are going to be part of that. So that will give the first, dynamic drive feedback from all of you guys to the customers. Immediately after that, somewhere around the middle of August, we will start the pre-booking phase. Yeah, and the start of production also happens for the Taigun from the middle of next month. And we will start deliveries with a mega launch and price announcement somewhere around the third week of September.
Okay, so third week of September is when we can expect the launch.
Yes,
The
customer
and the
deliveries
delivery.
will start. Customer deliveries will start immediately. So the time period between start of production and the start of deliveries, we will use to make sure that our dealers are adequately stocked up.
Okay. And Ashish, is there any kind of expectation you have in terms of once the Taigun goes on sale, what kind of numbers you are expecting, and what kind of waiting period would you be looking for?
See, the waiting period, first of all, will depend on how successfully are we able to launch the car and whether the customers are able to see value in the car, which I'm sure they will. Yeah. We are targeting an almost a three times increase in from our current volume level. So that is the kind of aspiration we have. But I'm sure our production capacity can be ramped up if the demand goes up, which I'm quite confident will, because the car is beautiful. You have seen it. I think all our plans are in place. Our strategies in terms of the variants, in terms of the pricing, everything is right now being discussed. So I'm sure we will position it right at where the customers want it.
And over the years that Volkswagen has been in India, a lot of us have come to know a certain. We all have a certain expectation from Volkswagen cars, and you know that. And mostly, it's about people who love to enjoy and drive that solid build quality, that premium fit and finish. Now with the Taigun, can people still expect that, or because it's a vehicle developed for India, so there's certainly you know you had cost in your mind as a limitation factor. So will that somewhere, in a way, maybe, if not, I'll not say compromise, but would it alter that kind of product positioning we've been seeing from Volkswagen?
Arpit, to answer that question, we have to look at the platform on which the Taigun is built. Yeah, if you look at the Volkswagen product DNA, all our products, whether previously in India, are based on global platforms and global products. Yeah, so we believe in carrying forward our global DNA into any car that we launch in any market. Yeah, so we do not make a differentiation whether it is India or whether it is Germany. The same DNA is carried forward in terms of what kind of an experience and what kind of value do we want to build in for customers. And that I'm sure you will see in the Taigun as well. Okay. Customers will get that same solid Volkswagen build quality, same quality, same safety dynamics, and same fun to drive feeling in our cars.
Okay. Now, Ashish, the platform, you spoke about the platform. Now, we all know that Kushaq on the same platform was just recently introduced. Now, a lot of people have this question: how will Volkswagen Taigun be different? A, in terms of positioning, can you tell us where it will be like slightly it'll undercut, or it will be priced over, and also. And the other part is that in terms of product differentiation, which are the areas that you are looking at from a Volkswagen perspective to bring out differences for your customer?
So in terms of product differentiation, I think Arpit, you have also seen the car that we showcased to you in Goa last time. So our whole product differentiation, first of all, is in terms of the overall design. The car looks dynamically different from our sibling. Yeah, it is based on the global design language that is followed across all our car lines, or at least our SUVs. Starting, as I said, from Tiguan Allspace to Tiguan to T-Roc to the Taigun, it follows the same design philosophy. So when a customer gets into the Taigun, he can be assured that he is getting the same lineage passed on to him. Yeah, that's I think the biggest differentiation from my customer perspective. A customer who buys into a VW is looking for a design language which is global, which we are providing. He's looking at an experience inside the car which is global, which we are providing through our digital cockpit, which is available on our variants, through the integrated infotainment system, and the entire look and feel of the cabin as well. Yeah, so at the heart of the vehicle as well, he's getting the same global technology like the TSI and the DSG inbuilt. And mark you, this is something which we have taken a very conscious call not to be going into the market with an MPI engine. Yeah, like many of our competitors and other OEMs in the country have gone in for MPI engines, but we took a conscious call that we wanted to give a very truly global product to our customers, and that's what we have done. So that's in terms of differentiation. In terms of positioning, I would say it is positioned as a premium product. Let me be very honest about it, and we'll stay true to it. Yeah, we will justify that premium positioning through our product proposition.
Okay, sure. And you also just spoke about like the engine choices that you have opted for the Taigun lineup. Now, if I speak about diesel engine, now diesel, of course, we know that the popularity is shrinking. Petrol is gaining. But in this segment, if I have to talk about one of the Korean rivals, more than 50% of that model sales comes, almost 60% comes from the diesel lineup, and that's a direct rival to the Taigun. So, how do you see this situation? I mean, how will you counter that customer who's a prospective customer for that 60% lot?
Yeah, so Arpit, that's a very interesting question. And if you see the development of fuel or the fuel choices in the market, 2 or 3 facts. One is that over a period of last 1 year, even in the A0 SUV segment, which the Taigun will be belonging to, the diesel share has gone down to 50% from around 65% a year ago. Yeah. So customer profile or customer preference is surely and changing in the market as well. 15% movement in a period of 1 year is a large movement overall. Yeah, that's number one. Secondly, the reason to buy a diesel, yeah, the price difference between petrol and diesel is no longer as valid. Yeah, you have hardly a 9 rupees per liter difference between petrol and diesel, whereas the price of the car is disproportionately high. Yeah, so from a customer point of view, the reasons to prefer a diesel are slowly diminishing. That's number one. Number two, we made a very, very, I would say, early decision in the project that we are not going for diesel. But at the same time, we decided to go as a second engine option with the 1.5 liter TSI. Yeah, which offers much better, fuel to power ratio. It offers much better driving dynamics, and it offers all the benefits over a lifetime which a diesel can offer, and even more. Yeah, so that's how we have decided our strategy, that move away from diesel, but at the same time, looking at the customer's requirements, provide him an engine option with the 1.5 liter TSI.
And Ashish, do you have any expectations that between the two engines about what kind of skew we expect? I mean, of course, it will be more towards the 1 liter, I'm guessing, but
yeah,
any expected numbers?
See, I won't be able to give you numbers. I have, of course, my planning numbers, but it will all depend upon, how the customer movement happens. I also understand from my factory that we are flexible in terms of our production. Of course, it has a standard lead time for switching, but we are geared up to switch our production as soon as possible if there is a movement from one side to the other. Yeah. But I'm sure that, with the kind of planning and the kind of analysis that we have done in coming to those ratios, we will be able to meet the customer demand.
Okay. All right. And some of the vehicles we have seen in this segment have recently introduced multiple transmission. So on the same model, there are companies that are offering CVTs, DCTs, they are offering torque converters. Now you also have new gearboxes. So is Volkswagen going to stick to the kind of gearbox options we know on the Taygun right now, or are you exploring offering more options to consumers in the coming time?
We are just confusing the customers by offering more options. That's my feeling. Yeah. At the end of the day, I will not comment about competitors. It's about how comfortable am I driving a certain type of transmission. For a customer, it is basically manual and automatic. Yeah. So in manual, we have one of the best options available, which you have seen on our other car lines as well. In automatic, we are offering customers the best of class in two options with automatic and the 7-speed DSG. Yeah. I think, if I may comment, competitors are forced to look at more options to match up to this. Yeah, that's my take on it, or at least that's what I would like to believe.
Okay, all right. And if you also spoke in just a few minutes back about the design, and you mentioned how it's a global design that people will get with the Taygun. And of course, some time back we all also had a very nice conversation with the global design team for the Taygun. So what I want to know is, like, we know that your next car will be a sedan that you're looking at. And is this kind of design language that we are seeing on the Taygun, is this going to be the basis for other upcoming models? Is this like form of a homogeneous design language that we can expect what we are seeing on the Taygun, or something different?
See, I think we have to look at this question in two parts. One is, there are certain fundamental design elements which will be true to all Volkswagen. The Volkswagen logo and how do we design our lights, the clean lines that you have on the body. These are global or, fundamental design cues of the Volkswagen. That is going to be there in each and every Volkswagen that we provide. But if you look at it the other side, there's a design language that you follow in SUVs, and then there's a design language that you follow in sedans and hatchbacks. Yeah. So the sedan is going to follow the second line of design thinking, is what my image is. Yeah. And that makes perfect sense because historically we have been very, very strong in sedans and hatchbacks. SUVs, I would say, is a last 10-year phenomenon.
Coming to another aspect about Taygun now, in the earlier years, a lot of people have this notion about Volkswagen cars being, expensive to maintain, and I know in your last few years you've made a lot of effort to change that, but those were existing car lines. Taigun being developed ground up for India. What are the developments made in terms of giving a lot of consideration?
Okay, I think two or three important things which were considered at the project level was one, for the first time, we actually had a cost of ownership component into the whole project planning. That was important. Why this was important was because when it is a global product, the global cost of ownership figures go into the project calculations. But what we made sure right from the start was that we looked at cost of ownership from an Indian perspective, did very good benchmarking and analysis and workshops with customers to understand what kind of cost of ownerships are they looking for. And those were the figures that went into the project planning. So this was an important development with this project being led from India, and also because we have an indigenization going on the MQB A0 platform into India as well. Second thing was how to reach these targets. Yeah, there the amount of localization that has been put into this project was very important. Once you are able to localize more and more parts, you are able to bring cost of the spare parts also down. So that's already been done. Second thing, we looked at how can we reduce the cost through more and more child part availability. Instead of changing assemblies, how can we actually bring in more child parts to reduce the cost of repairs. So that has also been done. There are, I think, more than 30 or 35 parts which have now been broken down into sub-assemblies to provide child parts as an option to the customers to change rather than changing full assemblies. One of the ways to reduce cost of ownership is also to reduce complexity. Yeah. Right. So if you have 5 engine options and 6 transmission options, it brings a lot of complexity, and the number of parts you have to handle, the number of logistic chains you have to handle, it makes the whole business case or the costs very high. So that's something also which was a very acute focus of the project team, to make sure that we do not increase complexity of our management and the number of lines that we have to manage. The next step was in terms of going for factual changes on some things we could change. For example, engine oil. Yeah, engine oil is something which we took a major step in January this year by reducing the prices by almost 35%. Yeah, engine oil as a part of maintenance cost used to constitute almost 50 to 55% of your maintenance bill. By reducing that by 35%, we have actually made a huge difference. Yeah, and the next part was, of course, reducing parts prices as well. So with these combined, even for the Taigun, we have brought our service costs down to a very, very large extent. I can say that when we launch the Taigun, our service costs will be on par or even better per kilometer than our competition.
I'm sure that is a very reassuring message for any potential buyers.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, all right. And also one other important thing, Ashish, about the Taigun, and this is something that we have also getting a lot of queries on from our viewers and readers. That we have seen some certain sort of a packaging already on the sibling car. On the Taigun, can we expect variant packaging to be significantly or considerably different, especially around with the 1.5 engine?
Yeah, 95% of things that customers want stay the same. You cannot differentiate much on that because these are must-have things that you have for customers. What differentiation it will offer to from our sibling is basically the layouts of the interiors, the materials used. Those are the kind of things which you can differentiate with, and some key equipment as well, which I would not like to reveal right now.
Sure. Look forward to that. I think it's a few days away, so we'll get to see the car and see those changes then.
Sure.
So Ashish, so overall I think you've given me a lot of information around the Taigun and the development process, what consumers can expect. What's the one biggest thing that you think why should anyone buy the Taigun, or what makes Taigun best according to you? What is that one standout thing?
It's a Volkswagen.
Okay.
You know what Volkswagen stands for. Absolutely. And when a product comes with the Volkswagen logo, that's what customers can expect. That's what customers can look forward to.
Sure. And just Slightly deviating from Tycoon, what are the plans for Tiguan? Also saw that in
Yeah,
Goa.
so unfortunately for Tiguan, we've had some delays because of the global semiconductor issues. I was actually
Right.
planning to launch the Tiguan before the Taigun, yeah. But we could still do that, but it would create conflict in the mind of the customers, yeah. It was coming too close to the Taigun launch, so I have consciously decided not to confuse customers and give some more time for the Tiguan launch. We are still looking to launch it this year. I'm just trying to right now adjust what would be the right timing. But it's true that because of the global semiconductor issues, finally it has hit us hard, and we've had some delays on the Tiguan.
Is that supply in any ways expected to affect Taigun production in the coming months?
No, that's something which we have been lucky with. Primarily, as I said, because we have a high degree of localization in that.
Brilliant. Well, I think that this again, as usual, has been a very good conversation with you, Ashish. And Taigun, clearly, I can make out that you are very excited and kicked about
Oh
it.
yeah.
And yeah, yeah, clearly. And I look forward to seeing you and driving the car. And that way, we'll also be able to tell our viewers and readers what the Taigun is and how does it come around. Thank you so much for your time, and take care and stay safe.
You take care too.